guys, this is Laurel, or Rel, with the Dabbling Hook. How are you guys doing? Oops. Let's hope I don't cause another avalanche. How's everyone doing? It looks like a glorious day out. We have had 2.5 days of ridiculous wind this week, and that just all encompassed my week where I spent 3 days inside because I just got mysteriously ill. And I know what everyone's thinking: coronavirus. I had a couple of people send me links about the coronavirus. I don't think that's what it was. No, I didn't go to the doctor, but I felt like I was getting the flu, but it was more just fatigue. There was no stuffiness or anything like that. I just felt wiped, and I didn't know what it was. And instead of going to work and possibly passing whatever it is along, I stayed home. And so I worked Monday, and then halfway through Monday I started really feeling ugh. So I stayed home. Tuesday I was pretty much in bed. I was just tired. I think it was just my body saying, just chill. Just stressing about a lot of things since the fall, and it was just like, just chill, Anyway, so Monday I worked from home, and I went out to run errands at lunchtime, and then I didn't leave the house again till Friday. Was it Friday or Thursday? Friday, till Friday, to run errands again. I was feeling a lot better. And you would think you'd get a lot of crocheting done, but no, I was actually in bed, which is very unlikely for me. And I'm very shiny, one, because of the light, because it's bright out, and I just put on lotion, and yeah. So anyway, you might see glare off the skin. All right, so what are we talking about? I feel rusty, even though it's been a week. That's how it was. So I will start off with, I am drinking some Stash chai spice, which is very hot. Yep. The smell of it just reminds me of like Thanksgiving, Christmas, all encompassed into one, that idyllic, you hear the fire crackling and it's just warm and inside and cozy. That's what it smells like to me. Anyway, speaking of, so that tea came from Happy Mail. It says, wishing you sunshine and happiness, and it was from Miss Marsha of Marsha Mom, or made by Marsha Mom. And I've seen other people open this, so I was very careful, but a couple of them still escaped. And on the back of the card it says, when you care enough to send a lot of confetti. And even though I knew what was coming, I did have a few escapees fall out. But in the card, looks like it could be my high school colors, because it's black and gold and it's all bees. Very appropriate for right now. Even though it's March 1st today, it feels like spring, and I hope, this being New England, and I'm sure a lot of other places that get snow get this too, that we don't get like a surprise storm, which is quite possible to happen. But the ladybugs have been out, Pam. They've been all around inside, and the birds are chirping like crazy. So to me, that's like true signs of spring. So hopefully snow's done. It's still cold. We went from, like, earlier in the week, it was, I think Monday we had gotten to, the last time I recorded, I think it was Saturday or Sunday, we had gotten to like 62, and it was still pretty nice after the next couple of days, and then it like plummeted to like 29 degrees. So New England. But anyway, in here, all this rambling, she also sent me some Earl Grey, my favorite, some cinnamon spice from the Benner company. The little cord is in the way, but that should be interesting. And then she sent a couple of True Lemons. I have, when Seta first showed these, and I'm like, I've seen them, but I never really tried them. So then I bought a box, and then I used it really quick, and I couldn't find it again in the stores, so I ended up buying it on Amazon, but I bought a big box of 500 packets, so I'm well stocked. And by the way, for these, you can take a few packs and do lemonade in the summer, and then, you know, you can add a little splash of white Zinfandel to it. Just saying. And then in here, of course, is the confetti. So, ooh, my ears just popped for some reason. I will let the minions know you said hello. Minion 1 just left to go to a basketball game, I think. He's doing all these, like, can I go to this game? Can I go to that game? And I have to, like, let go. But, you know, he's driving, he's working, he's going, hanging out with friends. And, yeah, it's a little tough. Although, mind you, when he's in the house, he's like a pain in the, you know, location. You know where. Anyway, all that 6 minutes of going on and on for. So that was one happy mail. I'm going to go into acquisitions and try to look at the camera and not me again. Okay, so there was that. And then the other thing, I was watching one of Tim of Crafty Nomad. I think it was her last video, or her video before last. I need to go pick up something there. And she had bought books, the Zumi-Gurumi books, and I've had them in my Amazon wish list, and it's just there for me, my Amazon wish list, because nobody pays attention to it, no matter how many times I tell family members that I have a wish list. I've even sent the link. Make sure I didn't rebuy some. 5, 6, 7. Oh, I think I'm still missing one. I think I'm missing the original. Yeah. Oh, I thought I'd had them all. Pardon me. Oh, I dropped the confetti. How cute is that? Okay. So, as I was saying, she was talking about the books, and she'd gotten them from, I think, some discount bookstore. I can't remember. But it reminded me that I wanted to get them all, even though I have 3 and I've only made 1, maybe 2 things from one of those books. But I still wanted the complete set. You know how we are. So, oh no. Ooh. Oh, no. Oh, look at that. Big mistake. I ordered Zumi-Gurumi 4, and they sent me 2 Zumi-Gurumi 3 books. So, well, that's no good. I need to take a picture of that and contact them. And I was just so happy because in the packet, they sent extras, which was, oh, they covered up the size. Nope. A 3.5mm Yarnology hook and a 4mm Clover, the soft touch. I have one of these, and I bought these ages ago. But yeah, well, that stinks. So now I'm gonna have to contact them. Boo, 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 because it says right here, book 4, book 7, book 8, and book 3, and they ended up sending me 2 book 3s. Well, that's a bummer. We'll see what they say, and if I get to keep it, somebody might get to get it, but if I have to return it, we'll see. But I want my book that I ordered and paid for. But anyway, so here I thought I would have had all of them except the latest one, which is 9, which I really don't need right now unless I find it on a good deal. And the original I don't have, but I had 2, 5 and 6 in my library already here. I'm a little perturbed. I picked this up on Friday and I totally didn't open it until now. Oh, that stinks. Alright, I guess I'll have to do that after. So yeah, that was acquisition number 2. Or acquisition number 1. But incoming number 2. And number 3. So, we know that Michael's is clearing out stuff, and they have quite a few other things on clearance as well, but they have some of the Charisma for $247, I think, at mine. And I don't think that's good clearance price, even though the regular is $4.99, but still. Usually they have it for like $2 on sale sometimes, or $1.99. So $2.47 is not good clearance. Plus I don't need to stash anymore. But what I did get, a week ago I saw that they had the, or someone had mentioned that the latte cakes were on clearance. And when I went online and looked, because I had gone to the store and there was a sign right in front of all the latte cakes that said, buy one, get one 50% off or something. So, and I didn't bother scanning it. So I just left. I went online and there were some that were regular price and then there were some that were $2.97. And online at the time it was only like 2 or 3 colors that were showing, or that they actually had in stock. So I left it alone, and then somebody else had just posted about it and somebody else had messaged me about it. So I decided to go in, check it, and go scan it to see. Well, wouldn't you know, with the scanner, the price checkers wouldn't come up at all. So I went up front with one and asked them how much, and they said, the guy said $2.97. So I'm like, yeah, hold that. I went back around, and I have this bag. What's that noise? I think it's my heater, or it sounds like a car idling. Anyway, so I have this bag from Rumi. Like a few years back, they had a deal that you went in and you got the bag free, and I think you only paid for shipping. And then this is the name, and I ended up ordering more. And the bags collapse really small, like these reusable ones, but it opens up pretty wide because, as you can see, it holds quite a bit. So I have a few of those. So I went, and I always try to bring my own bag when I go shopping. I ended up buying 13 cakes. Do I need 13 cakes? Probably not, because I still have 1, 2, 3, 4 in my stash from last season. But anyway, I did leave a few. The colors that I know I didn't use as much. I think I got, 3 of the roasted tomato. I put my book down for a second. I think it was 3. Yes, 3 of the roasted tomatoes. 2 of the claret. 2 of those, and that goes with the roasted tomato pretty well. And then there are dye lots on these, because some of them are more peachy in tone, some of them are more pinky in tone, so they will go well. And I like mixing those with other yarns. I think they pair well. And I'm looking at, I have a bunch of Lion Brand Heartland in, I don't know what the colorway is, but it's the dark red color. And it will go well with the roasted tomato, I think, because I had used Lion Brand 1 pound in claret with that last time, and I love the way that turned out. Actually, I still have a cake of it left, so the 3 of those would go well together. But anyway, I got this one, which is Gray Shock, and I think I got 2. Nope, I got 1 of those because I already have 1 in stash. And it looks like I had this claret, 1 of those in stash already. I had gone through all my roasted tomato. I also got Shocking Teal. I'd used that last year for sure. How many do I have? 1, 2, 3, 4. If I had said 3, I have 4 in stock. 4 latte cakes from last year. But anyway, I'd use this as well. So I have 1 of those. So I'm going to save this one for a second. Pardon the head of the fro. You getting a good look at the fro? I got 2 of Gray Velvet, which would pair well with, it's a great neutral with just about anything, I think. So I got 3 of those. And then, so when I posted on Instagram, I said to, when you're buying, to pay attention when you're checking out, because while most of them ring up, first they ring up at $9.99 and then you see the $7.20 off, so you get these for $2.47 or whatever it is. Something like that, whatever it is. Math. So it's easy to miss that these I don't think are on sale. So they may just have, or on clearance, they may just have certain colors on clearance. Because while I was doing my last walk around, because I like to pick things up and then I walk around, and by the time I'm ready to leave, I go, do I really need this? And I put things back. So there was another section where they had more latte cakes, kind of like one row of shelves, or one column of shelves, and they had I think 3 of the colors there, and this is Kissy Kissy, and I think I have one up there, or maybe it's the Gray Shock or something, whatever it's called. But these rang up at $9.99, so the guy ended up giving it to me for $2.47, but I have a feeling it really should have been $9.99, because unless they're clearancing everything out, then again, after saying that, no, with this one. So the other one I got was coconut cream, and that was also $9.99. It rang up. What I did find, there was another coconut cream skein. These look very similar. This one's a little more, has a little more darker brown tones to it, but there was another one that had, it was almost like it was over dyed in like a honey color almost, and it was so different than these, and it was the same coconut cream name. So I'm surprised that wasn't on clearance, because the colors were so, it's like not even dye lot, it was like 2 different colorways almost. So those were $9.99, and again I got them at $2.47 from the guy. I was tempted to go back, but I think no, I don't need to go back. I need to use what I have. I have a bunch of cakes over there, like latte cakes, which I thought I had gone, not latte cakes, regular Karen cakes, which I thought I had gone through, and somehow I ended up with more than I thought I had. So I'm going to pair those with these to make my 2-button cowls, or my big button cowls, for the fall. And I'm going to start in May instead of starting in July when I usually do, to start stocking up. So all that was acquisitions. All right, and I think I'm gonna put myself on a supply buying, not just yarn softband, but a supply, because I have quite a bit of books that I haven't really used, and it's ridiculous. So that's going to go into effect as well. I don't need to buy any more books unless there's something I need that's only in a book. I don't need to. It's just, it's amassing, and the amassing is really starting to bother me. Whips. Oh, now I gotta get everything back into the bag and find a place for it. That's the fun part. Okay, whips. So I finished an order, and part of it was knitting, and I wanted to, I was in the mood to knit too. So I decided to cast on another knitted project, that I've got in my T-Doddles bag, which is a great bag. It's just a mini maker bag, and it's great for the cakes, or even if you've caked up something, it's good to sit it in there, and it holds it pretty well, I think. So one of the hats that now fits, you know, the fro and allows me just to wear a hat like I like to wear a hat, because it's been very difficult, is the Ricky hat by, you think I would remember because I was just looking at it last night. I'll put it on the screen. But I made one, and I'll put the picture if I can find it, back in 2017. And then it took forever because it was I was still newish to knitting, and it was in worsted weight, and it was knits and purls, and you know, once you do the purls, it slows you down. And I ended up doing another one while we were on vacation that same year, in, where did I do it? In super bulky, thick and quick. And I think I did the crown decreases my way rather than their way. But those two I wear a lot, and they tend to mold around my hair in the way, because usually when I put a hat on now, I just look like a mushroom head, or you know, like I have a bowling ball on my head. So it's very upsetting that I can't wear my hats the way I want to, but that works. So I have 3 cakes of Garen chunky cupcakes, and I love the colors, and I've been kind of saving it for something, and I decided to pull it out, and I am just making another Ricky hat, and this is in the Berry Blast colorway. Yeah, the Karen cupcake in the Berry Blast colorway, and the cake kind of matches the bag. So this is the bag, and then the cake kind of like a brighter version of the bag. But yeah, I'm actually liking this purple color down here too. Yeah, it's just basically knit and pearls, knit and purl. A row of knit, a row of purl. It's a free pattern on Ravelry, and I'm hoping I still have enough to finish the hat, because I kind of went off on my own cast on to see how that would work, because I'm trying to find a hat that would mold properly. So that's that. And then the other thing I'm still working on, because I took a rest to finish this other order, because it was part amigurumi, you know, I kind of was pulled to it. So I went back to the, you've seen this last time, and again, tangled. Oh, good Lord. The Yvette shawl. So I went back to it, and last night when I picked it up, I got like halfway through a row, and I'm like, what the heck? Yeah, I missed a stitch in one of the spaces, and normally I would have fudged it and let it go, but I think if I kept going, it would have made one side shorter than it should be. So I had to pull back 2.5 rows. So still looking pretty much the same. So I think I got maybe 1.5 rows past where I originally started. So my goal is to get this finished, or darn near finished, by the end of this coming week, so I can get it off to her. The good thing about this one, it's not like a super heavy yarn, so it can still be worn through the spring, you know, on those chilly days. So that's that. And I think that's all I have for whips. I do have, other than the shawl, the purple shawl, I have 2 more hats to do, and I think that will be it for my orders. And I think I'm going to put a kibosh on doing any custom orders for a couple of months. Not that I get that many throughout the spring summer months, unless somebody's having a baby and needs something. So that'll be that. Yeah, and my Just Feel Festive, I haven't touched it since, because yeah, being sick and all. This leads into the winner for the fingerless mitts from Kim of the Crafty Nomad. So I went to pull the winner, and I put in all the I'll put on the screen so you can see. I put on I got the URL, I put in the word to key in on, and then I click find you know, duplicates, and it came back with 1. I'm like, what the heck? I've been answering or replying to comments all week. So I went to my page to look, and it was only showing like 3 comments, and I know there were a lot more because I responded to them. So I think YouTube had some kind of update or whatever this week or this weekend, that is just mucking with things. So I advise you to go check your videos and check comments, or even your most recent ones, to see if all the comments that you may or may not have responded to is still there, because they weren't. And what I ended up, I went into the studio to look, and all the comments I had already replied to, it put it in hold for review, which is just weird. So I'm thinking that there was some kind of update this weekend that mucked with things. So I had to go bring them all back, and then I was able to run it. The other thing too is I had a comment from OVW, and hey OV, and I saw the notification come on my phone, and then I went to go respond. When I clicked on it, it's nowhere to be found. I'm like, that's weird. Usually when that happens, it's usually held in suspected spam. Nothing was there. I checked my phone. I checked when the notification came through my email. It still, when I clicked on that, it still wasn't there. So, Ovi, I'm not ignoring you. I don't know where the comment went. It's just disappeared in the ether. So I don't know if it's the whole YouTube thing that happened, but it's not there at all. It's not sure. I can see it in the notification, but when I click on it to go respond or look at it, it's just not there. So more YouTube glitching. All this to say, I'm going to show you who won this time, and I'll be right back. So congratulations, Desiree of Dizzy Stitches. Send me an email to let me know. All my information will be down below. Send me an email to let me know that you saw this as acknowledgement, and then I will let Kim know, and she'll be able to get that off to you. Awesome. All right. That's that. So, finish objects. So, as I was saying, one of the orders I still have to do is 2 hats, and I need to find out from her if she still wants it, since it's not as cold and snowy as it normally is. I don't know if she's going to want to postpone it or still have it. I'll postpone it for the fall. But part of it was to get fingerless mitts for her sister, which I think will still work now for a while. So I can meet up with her and do that. So that's done. And find out what she wants to do going forward. The other part is the order I just completed was for a newborn. And this hat might be a little big because the baby was born full term, but like 5 pounds something ounces. Really tiny, and you forget how small they are, but it's a small newborn hat, and it should at least take her through the spring. Yeah, like just my fist fits in there, so that should fit. So this is a take on the barley hat by Tin Can Knits. I've done that one twice before, maybe 3, but definitely twice before. The first time was one of the first knit hats that I did. I think it was the 3rd knit hat that I did. The first one was while I was taking lessons at the local yarn store, and they were just going way too slow for me and not really engaged. And I didn't want to do that scarf sample that they were doing, so I'm like, I like hats, why don't I try the hats? And from then on. So yeah, the barley hat, I added decreases as I went along. You can kind of tell where it started here, and some of my decreases kind of got lost a little, especially right here. You can definitely tell where I missed a stitch, or not missed a stitch in that there's a hole, but missed a stitch where my decrease kind of skewed a little. But added a flower and you will not be able to tell. So that's that. And this yarn is Bernat Super Value Big Stripes. I like it. It's discontinued. I just saw somebody else using it. Lisa of Lisa's Crochet. She put out a little help video because she was doing what looked like the virus shawl, but I don't think it was. There's a similar one to that Fiber Spider did, because hers had one of the rows is done in the back loop, so it kind of gives it a little texture. And there's, I forget what the name of that was, but he definitely did a tutorial on that. And I think other people respond. A lot of people, I think, responded with the virus shawl because it looks very similar. Or maybe this was just a take on the virus shawl that he did, but it definitely had back loop stitching. Oh my gosh, I just realized, ugh, I'm such an idiot. I'm gonna have to take this out. Oh no, I'm an idiot and a half. Why? Because I made a little lovey. Can you spot the mistake? It's at arm's length right now. So I made a little lovey, and I didn't add any long ponytail because it's a newborn and she had short hair with little fluffy, and I contemplated brushing this out and making it fluffy, but I decided against it. So yeah, I added some other colorway too because I was running out of this Bernat Super Value, and I think the colorway is called Be Happy or something. No, I forget the name, but I added some antique white in Stitch Studio. It blends in pretty well. But my mistake, I just noticed. I'm an idiot. I sewed one of the hands backwards. You see the thumb right here? The thumb's upside down because I sewed it on backwards. Yeah. Now I'm gonna have to carefully pick that out. Oi, oi, oi. Okay. So I guess that's not completely done after all. Darn it. All right. My last is I wanted to give the spun color a try, and Z mentioned, and it does remind you of the Loops and Threads Facet, except that's a number 5. It's definitely thicker, the Loops and Threads one. And the Loops and Thread is all acrylic, whereas this has wool in it. So, yeah, superfine merino, 35%. So I wanted to give it a try, and I have a hat out of the Loops and Threads one that I wear to death, and it's very ratty, and I've like trimmed it and combed it off and all the rattiness off many times because I love it and it fits right. So I figured I will try to make me another hat. But this yarn is much thinner than I thought it was. There were parts of the yarn that was so thin, it was like fingering weight thin. Really, really thin, and I wasn't really expecting that. But I made myself one of my shell stitch beanies, and I went a little longer because, you know, we have extra. And I still think I made it a little too small, but that is mine. So I don't mind the yarn. I thought this would be a good neutral color. I don't know how it would look knitted. I think it's a little, just a little too, I don't know what the right word is. If it was more of here, this area here, or like this area here, that would have been good for me. But it's a little too splotchy worked up, and maybe it's just, you know, obviously the shell stitch. That's the reasoning. And the noise is Minion 2, having yet another snack, you know, teenagers and food. So yeah, and with the big head and the big throw, it's slip stitching which stretches. So I'm hoping it would hold on. So I didn't want to make it too big to fit over all this where then it would end up falling off, but I hope I didn't make it too small. But yeah, it'll still be a good neutral, I think. I think if the navy blue wasn't in here, it would have been okay. It just seems out of place almost in this. All the other colors blend, but I think the navy is just a little too out of place. But other than that, it kind of works very similar to the facet yarn, and other than those really thin spots, it's good. I wasn't as pulled in because that is not my color. I got this thoroughly to do like a neutral hat that will go with everything, but I'm waiting to dive into all the other colors. I think I have 2, 3 other colorways there that are more my wheelhouse. Fall colors, deep, rich colors, so we'll see. So yeah, that is all that I have. This I'm also, once I take a picture of it and fix the arm, I can't believe I did that. I'm so happy to get it done. I'm gonna take photos and enter it into the block party. Is that over? I think that's over, isn't it? I think it was through the end of February, or is it March? I'll have to go find out. If it's still open, I'll get in, I'll enter it. I did post a picture when it was almost all done on Instagram, so I think that's all I have. Oh no. I have a few shout outs. One, Denise of Black Ribbon Studio. Go check her out. I love her intro music. She did a video like a few months back where she didn't have the intro, and I'm like, hey, because I love that song that she uses, and I think it's part of the YouTube library, but I like it. And it's now associated in my mind with her videos. But she does obviously crochet. I think she's knitting or learning to. She might have started Tunisian, but she's definitely doing cross stitching as well, and she does that floss tube as part of her videos now. The other one, of course, is Angelia, which I meant to do last time and I totally forgot, but Angelia's back. Little Xenia patch. You know, she was doing patterns and everything, amigurumi patterns, and she had to stop because of her shoulder. And then she came back, but then she deleted everything, Angelia, because of the whole COPA thing. But now she's back and she's making videos, and it's going to be, you know, her crocheting, she thrifts, she quilts. So, woman of many talents, so go check her out. And the other one I came across, and again, this is gonna, if you go to her channel, you're probably gonna see nothing there because I think it's another YouTube glitch. Felicity of Handmade by Felicity. You can find the channel. It shows that she has 2 videos, but when you click on it, it shows there's no content. And I know there's content because I watched the videos. So I don't know what's going on with YouTube, but I will throw a link down below in case things get resolved. But Handmade by Felicity, that's the last one. And on that note, I gotta go see what I can do about, whoops, resolving. I can't believe they sent me 2 books. I hope they let me keep it so I can, you know, pass one on. But yeah, that is no bueno at all. And I was just so happy that they sent little actual usable extras. And now, look at that. Bummer. Alright, on that note, I will talk to you guys later. Have a good rest of today, Sunday, and the week coming up. Back to normal, back to driving to work. And back to trying to find a place for all those latte cakes. Yeah, I'm not going to go back. I'm not going to go back. I'm going to leave it there, because there's plenty in here that needs to be used. Yarn band is still on. Remember, I did say that the yarn band is, or the soft slowdown, was in force, except if there was a deal too good to pass up. And come on, $2.97 or $2.47, $2.97 for latte cakes when they're usually $10. It'd be criminal not to. All right, I'm gonna go because I'm trying to talk myself into this. Bye, guys.